The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Amid the trail of death and destruction left by Typhoon Odette in the country, Pag-asa insists that they gave enough warning about the strength of the typhoon. This as they start to sound the alarm on another low-pressure area near the Philippine Area of Responsibility. Marian Enriquez reports.
Thousands of houses were destroyed. Hundreds of lives were taken. These were some of the images of devastation brought by Typhoon Odette that wreaked havoc in some parts of the Visayas and Mindanao. Pag-asa stood firm that they gave enough warning about Typhoon Odette.
Linggo pa lang nagpalabas na tayo ng Tropical Cyclone Advisory. Nasa labas pa ito ng ating air responsibility. At bago man pumasok ito sa ating PAR, ay nakipag-ugnayan na rin po tayo sa ating mga kasama sa Disaster Preparedness and Mitigation, sa OCD-NDRMC. And during the time na pumasok na po sa ating PAR at bago pa man din maglandfall, ay patuloy tayong nakipag-ugnayan sa iba't ibang ahensya ng pamahalaan. Patuloy nga nating inuulit-ulit sa ating mga kababayan yung possible scenario bago pa man din maglandfall yung bagyong si Odette dito nga sa eastern section ng Visayas and Mindanao area.
Pag-asa Senior Weather Specialist Chris Perez said Typhoon Odette recorded maximum sustained winds of 195 kilometers per hour and gustiness of 270 kilometers per hour. With this strength, it is normally expected to bring destructive winds and torrential rain, especially in areas where the center of the typhoon passes.
So basically, lahat po ng tatamaan, direktang tatawirin ng sentro ng isang typhoon category na bagyo ay asahan po talaga makakaranas ng malawakang damage. Pangalawa, tingnan din natin yung mga types of structures na nasira. No? I think most of the areas na apektuhan, lalong-lalo po sa rural areas, yung mga struktura po doon, normally may kaklasify natin sa mga high-risk structures, mga struktura na gawa sa mga magagaan na materyales.
For UP Resilience Institute Executive Director and UP NOAA Center Director Mahar Lagmay, Typhoon Odette is one of the strongest tropical cyclones that entered the country this year.
Sa pagitan nito mga islang ito ay mayroong mga tubig, no? May mga tubig. At kapag mainit yung tubig na yon, papalakasin niya ulit yung bagyo, no? Kasi pag naglalandfall lumihina, pero pag nagpupunta sa dagat, lumalakas siya ulit. So ibig sabihin, yung taglay niyang lakas ay na-maintain niya all the way from the eastern part of the Philippines all the way to Palawan.
Lagmay also noted that compared to Typhoon Rolly that hit the country last year, Typhoon Odette had sustained its wind strength.
Hindi katulad kunyari nung bagyong Rolly, no? Nung naglandfall ito, puro kalupaan ang tinamaan eh. So humina siya ng humina, no? Naghihina siya ng naghihina na hindi niya na-sustain ng malayo yung taglay niyang lakas. Itong bagyong Odette, maglalandfall, lalakas ulit dahil ng tubig. Kaya yung lakas na yon, maraming sinirang bahay.
Pag-asa said they are now monitoring another low-pressure area that may enter the Philippine Area of Responsibility this week.
Kaninang alas 8 ng umaga, estimate natin sa layong 2,330 kilometers ang layo silangan ng Mindanao. And sa ngayon, maliit ang tsansa na itong maging bagyo, pero inaasahan natin na within this week ay posible pong pumasok ng PAR at posibleng makaapekto sa ilang bahagi ng Mindanao sa darating na Huwebes hanggang Sabado po.
For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
President Duterte says that there's no more budget left to aid Typhoon Odette victims as calamity funds had all been used for the country's pandemic response. Speaking with victims themselves in Inabanga, Bohol, the president said the government coffers had been depleted due to the pandemic. He also said that the country is facing huge debt, with funds used mainly for quarantine needs and for vaccination of Filipinos. Lawmakers had earlier disputed this claim, saying funds for crisis situations had already been allocated under the national budget.
Bawani mo nahurot ang atong kwarta. Di man ta barang ingong na baragyod husto pero di namulihok ang gobyerno. Pero sa tinuod ng pag-abot sa COVID, walay limit. Walay limit. Nya dako kay kung utang sa mga hotel nga mahalon o baratohon. Kaya ang mga OFW nato, pag uli, demandahin nato sila paggawason sa quarantine.
In a separate speech in Argao, Cebu, Duterte assured affected residents that help is on the way. Duterte says he'll make sure that Odette victims will not go hungry. The president then took the time to joke about the meals that he will provide Cebuanos. Russian President Vladimir Putin extended his condolences to the Philippines as the country reels from the damage brought by Typhoon Odette. In a statement, Putin said Russia shares the grief of those who lost their family and friends as a result of the natural disaster. He also wishes speedy recovery for all those injured by the typhoon. We are down to the last 4 days before Christmas. Last-minute shoppers are taking advantage of relaxed pandemic restrictions to troop to budget-friendly Divisoria. Marty Bautista has the story.
Hundreds of people flocked Divisoria to do some last-minute shopping just a few days ahead of Christmas. You can definitely buy a lot with your 13th month bonus here. Like these colorful beaded lanyards, which have been trendy for the kids to use in hanging their face masks. There are also colorful shirts that can be given to your nieces and nephews. Shoppers are excited for this year's celebration as it's been long since they were physically able to buy Christmas gifts for their families due to the numerous lockdowns last holidays. But because the country is still under alert level 2, buyers are reminded to remain cautious, especially since the new Omicron variant has been spreading quickly in other parts of the world.
Natatakot po ba kayo na may Omicron na yun? Tapos masikip na po?
Oo.
Pero kailangan pa rin, no?
Oo, kailangan pa rin ng pamasko para sa pamangkin.
Divisoria is the most go-to places ng mga tao talaga. So,
Hindi po ba kayo natatakot may Omicron na?
ay wala, okay lang yun. Hindi, basta maging malinis ka lang. Tapos syempre, gagalingan mo lang yung alaga sa sarili mo, take care of yourself.
According to Divisoria shopkeepers, sales appear to be booming this holiday season and they are starting to recoup losses from previous lockdowns.
Lahat naman, nabibili naman kahit papano.
Ano po yung popular para sa mga last-minute Christmas shopping ngayon?
Sa amin, halos lahat naman. Oo.
Opo, sa ngayon, medyo maganda-ganda na. Maluwag-luwag na konti.
People often shop at Divisoria, especially over the holidays, because it certainly offers cheaper alternatives for items such as clothing, accessories, bags, and more.
This so 75 pesos lang. Sa mall to 300 kasi makikita mo yung tibay at quality nila. Talagang paspamaskol na sila nila sa mga namimili.
Although the prices are cheap, police authorities are determined to make sure that peace and social distancing protocols are still being followed. For News 5, Marty Bautista. We are One News.
Tatiana Austria is the first runner-up for this year's Miss Eco Teen International pageant. Tatiana was crowned earlier today in Cairo, Egypt, alongside the title holder, Miss Vietnam. The other runners-up include Miss USA, Belgium, and Egypt. Time now for a quick look at some of today's headlines. The Philippines detects its third case of the Omicron variant. Video footage of the exact moment Typhoon Odette ripped open a stadium in Surigao goes viral on social media. And Comelec says the retirement of its 3 unbanked members will not delay the resolution of pending cases against Bongbong Marcos. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.